say. I don't know. Would you assume people still say that in Ireland? I don't know. Perhaps they do. I just know from watching the TV. What is it about people these days? Well, maybe we'll start with the idea of conspiracy, contradictory, psyop, blah blah. It's psychological warfare. Everything is right. That's where we are. Anybody that has a channel, they say anything about anything these days. What is every channel that is of any giving any good information out, no matter what, they're gonna people they're gonna find a way. They're like, well, so and so, that's that plant upper, that's not, you can't listen to that. It's like what the first thing to go in a war is truth. First thing. And then after that, it's the art of confusion. If you make someone doubt something, they're malleable, they're moldable. If you can make someone just doubt anything, they have become clay in your hands. So my favorite part of this is you have okay, anybody who's not familiar, John Levi's work. I find him to be an upstanding catalyst for people's thoughts, for ideas, for things that little hidden things that I never would have noticed or seen. He brings a lot of cool stuff forward that I've never seen before, and it's quite good. And I've done my research, my due diligence into these things as well. And I don't see what he. I don't care. It's the same thing with all of these other people, with the David Icke, which is obviously he plays for the team. William Manly P. Hall. I mean, I don't care who it is. I don't care who's playing for what team. It's the only thing you're working with is information, and whether it has integrity or it doesn't. I don't care who it comes from. Trust in something is implicit. I don't care who it came from or how. Is it valuable? If someone hands me $1 million, is that $1 million or is it not? I don't care how I got it. I don't care who gave it to me. That's it. That's irrelevant. Someone hands you a steak, a basket of fruit. What is the care of who provided it? Yeah, well, some of the information they give is no good, so don't listen to them anymore. And it's so interesting, especially on the internet. It's pretty. They're getting more sophisticated with the robots and the people that are paid for to do this nonsense. It's pretty obvious to see when you see it, though. It's just because they're time wasters. They go on to these people's channels in the comment section, whether it's Instagram or YouTube or anywhere else on the internet, and they just leave. You ever heard the song by Liana La Havas? It's called "No Room for Doubt." All they do is they just instill and inflict doubt into people's minds. That's all they need to do. It's their only job. So, regardless, see, here's the thing: is I can't fall for that okie dokie. I don't care, and people should take that attitude. Who cares? Because you don't know shit about the person on the other side of that computer, and you don't know shit about John Levi. You don't know shit about Manly Hall. You don't actually know shit about any of these people on TV or on these. You don't know them. You don't know their lives. Even the people that you might even have met, you have no idea about their life or what they do. So, take everything as the information that's being provided. It's pretty simple. And does it look sound to you? Is it verifiable? Does it hold weight? Is there some sustenance there? Is there substance to it? Because the interesting thing is once they offer up the art of confusion and doubt, your mind is a piece of wet clay. They can just start to, So what's their point? So you go to a channel like John Levi's, and it's to anyone that's done any any amount of research into the idea of what the mud flood is or what Tartaria might have been, it does not matter. We use an overall arching blanket term for what we mean by the entire narrative. The popular narrative is false and the history is garbage, and it appears that there's something like a mud flood occurred, something like a Tatar, like an empire that is hidden. It's apparent there were giants. It's apparent that these buildings were built by some idea that has higher technology than what anybody's working with now. Like right now, we could maybe redo some of the things that we see that just been standing since the 1200s. These churches and these. Do you know how difficult it is to make an organ? And you're telling me they were making these without any complicated, like they got horses and buggies, and before that they're even dumber. They're making these giant churches and these huge archways for no reason. And then these people come in, they're like, that's stupid. These are Mongolians and they were just war people, and John and these people, they're just out there. They're causing the confusion. The Illuminati know you're stupid, and they're just making fun of you that you'd believe something that. Isn't it more stupid to believe that those giant buildings, that those churches were used for people to go and worship a false deity, and then you just give money over so they can be the go-between, and those big churches were put there for that purpose? That seems more believable than, why is this giant beautiful building here? Why is this organ in here? What was its purpose, and how are they? Do you know how big some of these organs are? Do you know how long they take to clean? Do you know how long it takes to build those? Do you know how much, like, what you have to know to make an organ pipe? This is insanity. You couldn't in a lifetime build me an organ. I don't believe. If you knew nothing of it and start right now, get all the materials together that you're going to need to, and build me an organ. I'll give you the rest of your life, and I want it tuned perfectly. You got to go build all the tools. Start building the tools. You're gonna know the tools. You're gonna measure. You have to make the devices to measure the sound. You're not gonna be able to do it, and they're everywhere. And then now after you're done with the organ, make the church that the organs go in, with the stained glass window that actually mimics the resonant frequency and the standing waveform inside of the church when no one's in there. That actually is the cymatical. Do that. And tell me about these buildings that have 3 or 4 floors beneath, that have entryways and windows and arches, and no, they dug down there and built that in the 1800s, and then they filled it back in with mud. See, this is a child would, if you told that story, they'd be like, ha ha ha, no, that's silly. It makes no sense to do it that way. Correct, it doesn't. Therefore, and it wasn't done that way. But if your mind is feeble, somebody be like, well, John Levi and these people, Manly P. Hall, they're part of one of the secret societies. They're trying to confuse you. Okay, so what? So what part was it? And then you ask these people, well, what is it that they're saying? And they can never tell you. Although they'll just get there's blind. They'll use these ancient arts of the Hegelian dialect. Answer any question with the question kind of bullshit, because that's their job is to waste your time and to try to confuse you. That's what they do. And the point again is, why, if you can, if I bake a cake and it's off a recipe that I got online, and it's tasty and it works and it comes out right, and then somebody online says 1 star, the recipe didn't work, that's shit, and that recipe comes from blah 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 blah, and don't trust the recipe, and I've used it and it works, how could I doubt that? Would I just go, oh, maybe I should doubt that recipe, maybe it's wrong? And this is literally what people fall for these days. They've used recipes and they've done things, and then somebody be like, well, maybe that's, and they're like, oh, maybe it is. Well, let's talk about that further. Like, how many, who isn't part of some, as I've said many times, who isn't part of some sort of club? Everybody is. What is their club? And there's only a few people that are like full on. Hold on, it's starting to rain. I have to close my window before it gets moist in here. Who's how many people are really, the devil rides alone, that kind of thing. How many people are truly like isolated in their experience, where they just they're just their own independent research, and they're just in a box doing their thing. Nobody, everybody is on the shoulders of giants and of people that of other researchers. You can't. There's no way to get out of the idea that you're doing 100% authentic, individualized research. It really can't be done, because you have to start with the idea that you're already using a language. You're already using books. You can't source code those books, because you can't go to when those books were written. Even if you could figure out so and so wrote this book on this idea that came back from here, you're not in that time, you're not in that place, so you have no idea. So what are we left with? people that bring a certain narrative. So you have the thesis, which is the grand narrative. Then you have the antithesis, which comes out as conspiracy theories. Even though everything is conspired. To conspire just means to bring together. It's not a theory, and it's never been a theory on any level. It just is a fact that people work together to accomplish something. That's what the word means. Get it? Some do it for nefarious purposes. Some do it to build things for a better world. Who knows what it is? Whether it's new, an extra world, and another world, a realm. It doesn't really matter. But what you have the thesis, which is the popular narrative. The antithesis, which is usually controlled narrative. And then you have offshoots of that. And then just like weirdos just like, well, here's what my conjecture, sir. I mean, where's those nuggets of truthiness? Where are those little balls of yeah. So that's why I feel like all these people, they've done nothing. They've read one thing. They're like, how could you believe that stupid stuff? I mean, I have a few going into any conversation. There's like 3 key things I need to know, and that will tell me how much I should listen to this person. And I've said what these are before, and especially when someone claims expertise on a subject, because everybody claims expertise on something. Maybe not expertise, but they're really good. Everybody's got to have that feeling that they're good and they know something. If it's in the field of health, oh man, we'll chop that up into tiny little pieces, because most people have no idea about nutrition nor about health. What is it? What is it people want? What are you trying to figure out? Should I just go back into my cave and be a hermit? Should I go to Hermes, be a monk? Is it gonna bother me? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, isn't it the point though? Isn't it somehow that you're supposed to is the word abscond? No, absolve future generations from your father's sins. It's called the sins of our father, meaning the mistakes that they've made. Your mother's your father. The fuck-ups that they made that we have to fix, so the next generation doesn't have to deal with their bullshit. You understand? We're in the middle generation, where they fuck up so bad that we have to fix what they're fucking up, because they don't even want to admit they fucked up everything. And now we're out here trying to fix it. Not even for ourselves, because it's hard goddamn work doing it. But so the next generation doesn't have to deal with it. They weren't fixing shit from their fathers, I guarantee you that, because I look 2 generations back and I'm seeing high technology that somebody destroyed, and now they're just trying to sell you some line of bullshit, and then subjugate you. That's generationally. That's what's happened. Okay. You see more shit built in the last 30 years that is made by morons with moronic thinking. Yes, and go look up the word moron, you retard. It's one of my favorite words. Don't say the word retard. It's a word. It's literally. Oh wait, that's right. You agree with the book burnings of Alexandria that occurred in the United States. You agree with the Leipzig Convention. You agree with rechanging the tuning of pianos from 432 hertz to 440 because it makes sense to just do that by the international standards. You know what I mean? Like, why? For what? Why? What? If it's international standards, why didn't they internationally standardize centimeters and decimeters and you know, why are we working in feet and yards and, you know, what's going on here? Why didn't the standards work on America? Lots to unpack here, huh? Well, good morning. Have some tea or some coffee. Well, this is actually a golden milk. Turmeric, cayenne, ginger. If you don't know golden milk, it's awesome. But I put a lot of chocolate in it. So I mean, it's like chocolate golden milk. Which I prefer. I really like chocolate. What's not to like about chocolate? I'll say something I've said many times, but depending on if you've ever listened to me talk before, I don't know what purpose is there really for most people to read the comment section on YouTube or on Instagram especially. Unless you can read it with a bunch of filters and just go, there's a pretty good chance that's a robot or a completely dumb person or an ignoramus or an idiot or a moron or a dolt or a dummy or a fool or a childish or a time waster, or if you can do that and laugh at it and get from that what you might, be at it. But Instagram's comment section, I know people that get caught up in that, and the YouTube comment section. Watch the video, whatever it is, and take what from you might. If you get into a video and it seems disingenuous and inauthentic, and then you probably, there it is, then it's not for you. Move on. Stop wasting your time. Stop letting them waste your time and make you doubt things. It's like, I understand why people turn the comments off on their videos. But you know what happens then? View count goes down. Why? Because then the people that would be there to, time the view, and people go there just to comment some dumb shit. Like, how many times on some of my early videos I'd have comments that were I addressed during the video. Then I'm like, why are you commenting? You obviously didn't watch the video, so shut the fuck up. Like, if you're not gonna watch it's like somebody comes out with a song in the song, literally the title is like, what's the name of the song? And it's like, it says it right there, and they say it in the hook 6 times. So what are you not getting here? It's I could understand, like, when you're a professor or a teacher or something, and you say something during class, and then you got kids like, what is what? And you go, you're here, right? See, now the difference with school is you don't want to be there. So for a teacher to get upset, or a professor can probably get upset because someone paid for that education. School, as a teacher, you can't really get upset. You're like, these kids don't want to be here. They're in a, this is a propaganda camp. This is not really healthy for anyone. I understand why they might not have listened or paid attention. But if someone comes to a video on the internet and then asks or says something that is covered in the video, they can take both of their thumbs, jam them up their ass, and then just pull apart. You know what I mean? Just so they get the shit out of them. Because it's why? Why come to a video to ask a question that's, if you watch the video, is covered in there? That's your time you're wasting, and then you're gonna try to waste the person's time because you want the answer and you want it now, just so you can critique it. Hello, Mr. Mannion. What are you doing, Mr. Mannion? We are having we're having this bad bitch right here, a Carova milk porter. Pretty dope. Nice coffee porter. Baltic oatmeal milk porter with a smooth coffee finish. Chocolatey Baltic oatmeal. And yes, it is all of these things. This is gnarly barley. I normally don't like chocolate. What's up, Christopher Lee? I haven't seen you in a little bit, man. Yes. So I think that might have covered my rant about people, you know, go back to the beginning if you want to hear exactly what I was speaking on, the contradictory cunts that continually disregard anybody in the community of people trying to really figure something out. Like, if you know, this goes time and time again. At what point is someone paid enough to not care to figure it out? I forget who said it, but it's one of my favorite quotes. You can't convince a man to know something if his paycheck relies on him not knowing it. So, like, what is someone's, you know, what is someone's paycheck? At what point somebody's like, fuck it, I don't really care. If I knew for the rest, I'll tell you what mine is. If I knew for the rest of my life that anything financially, anything like my health, well-being, my freedom, my monetary system was taken care of, y'all go fuck it. Y'all can fuck off. You go figure it out for yourself. I mean, like, I would care way less about trying to get people to understand something. And that's, you know, if somebody's like, I'll give you $1 billion, you know what? I wouldn't. It'd be a hard. That's a trap. Why? Because $1 billion? What if they crash the economy tomorrow? That $1 billion worth of shit, they'll be like, ha 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 ha, hey. But you already knew they were going to do that with the economy, didn't you? It's just like, unless you can educate people, and unless they'll be educated is a better way of saying it. You know, future generations are just going to be eating shit. You know, it's the human centipede, just shit into the next person's mouth. And I have a habit of not shitting in people's mouths. It's a weird thing, where most people, their job is to, in no uncommon terms, shit directly out of their mouth into your face until you puke and then lap it up, and then you shit into the next generation's mouth. It's just a whole cycle that you all go through, which weird. I just don't prefer all that. Not into that kind of gory, messy, you know, the gory. Hey, it's like it's like being at the shit show front row, being like a Gallagher show, but instead of having a watermelon, he's got a big pile of moose shit that he hits with a sledgehammer, and you don't get a plastic thing in front of you. You get no play. You just gotta sit there in a nice shiny, a shimmering white suit, and your date, and you just, and that's what we're in Karen's carnival of amusements and the fairgrounds of Fantasyland of just disproportionate disgust, filth, degradation, destitute, dilapidated, dildo worshipping donkey fuckers. And then there's this delightful whole other world, or, you know, but it's all just mushed up there into one thing. It's like, that's where we sit. And I just think there's more room for the good stuff. You know, hey, if you're into donkey shows, have at it. If you're into like scat, Do your damn thing. But I'm just saying the fact that like an overreaching of all of that into the goods of the world, I think is the fucked up part. And I am the most liberal person at heart. Is my old age made me quite conservative? No, just in the sense of like, can you just? I live in a city that is the epitome of come here and shit all over the streets. Fuck up. We don't care. We have plenty of fun doing it too. But it's like, but the entire society as a whole is literally become 24 hours a day, 7 days a week of propagated bullshit nonsense, disingenuous, like people that are. It'd be like I feel like when I'm listening to people talk, it's like people have Down syndrome while being drunk and kicked in the back of the head by a mule. Like most people when they're speaking, that's what I feel like is coming out of their mouth. Whatever that would be, you could understand. Like if you're a drunken Down syndrome, like I'm not even gonna give them I'm not even gonna give them autism, because autism you could be highly intelligent. Down syndrome you feel a lot, but we beyond idiocracy though. Well, what's up, musicians? Christopher's here. What's up? If somebody repeats what? Yeah, I mean, this is for me. I think I'm going to start selling T-shirts. This is going to be part of my merch that I'm going to sell, guys. And it's going to be called the Karen Circus, the Karen Carnival, perhaps Karen Carnival. It's literally like this idea where the Karen woman is trying to do something fun and have a carnival, but she's such a Karen that she literally gets in the way of the carnival even existing the way that it should. That's the way it feels. It's a really weird dynamic. It is such a stark contrast between regular intelligence, which now looks like hyper intelligence, and then what is the normalization of stupidity is overwhelming. You can't have a quality conversation with anybody. It doesn't exist. Well, with who, where, when, about what? People don't have far-reaching thoughts into the future nor into the past. They can't see a larger picture. People don't even have time to make themselves a meal. They're using a microwave. How you think if they don't even have time to think about how to make a meal properly? How the hell you think they're going to be thinking about what the long game is for people that are over there that've been thinking about this shit for millennia, organizing? So how could they even consider that? Yeah, I hear you, musicians, and even at that, there's a couple mishaps there, in the truth community, and it's because they think they have proper acreage, land share of truth, and other people don't, and oftentimes they're blinded by what they've come to the alkaline diet. That's not truth. They've come to veganism. That's horribly not truthful. They've come to the green thing, and that's not honest or truthful either. There's certain levels of the truth community. I don't consider myself part of the truth community. I would not claim, and if they claimed me, I would be like, no, I'm not part of your community. I'm barely part of the health community, because I don't agree with most of what they're saying, because they don't know what they're saying. They have no idea even the basis for nutrition. Until one of these motherfuckers can sit next to me and say they fasted on water for 40 days, I don't want to hear one fucking peep out of their mouth, because they don't even know the beginnings and the basis of what water is or how their mind works. They have no clue what nutrition is. They have no clue how a seed comes to fruition to make food. They don't know the levels of the temples of the body. They don't know this shit. Now, do I hold them accountable? And no, I just don't want to hear what they have to say. And I've had conversations with people that swear because they read a book and they did that. I'm like, but you don't know. You don't know. It's like somebody trying to tell you, what's going to happen when you take PCP or LSD or MDA or mushrooms, and they've never done it. That's where we're sitting with most of the people in the level of the health community, at least. Certainly, I got people alkaline diet. You need to wash your mouth out with. Wait, hold on. The stomach is. We want to put alkaline water, but the stomach's acid, and the mouth is supposed to be acid. Well, you need to clean your mouth out with alkaline. Isn't that the opposite of what your mouth is supposed to do to digest food? What would be the problem? What? It's. So I just go, what the fuck? The fuck? Can't talk to these motherfucking people, yo. Yes, yeah, exactly. Looking like, yeah. Not sure, man, not sure. He's in there like, how can people be this dumb? Yeah. And imagine what it is. Imagine what it is to know that you're smarter than average people. Not just, not just sort of smarter. Not just more intelligent. Hey, everybody's special and everybody has their things, their gifts, and blah, 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 blah. I get it. I'm not better than anybody. But there's something that you might have that is maybe in you wouldn't say somebody, baking a cake in kindergarten is doing it better than Betty Crocker. You wouldn't say somebody's better at basketball than LeBron James. Like, these things just don't work that way. Does it mean they're a better person? Does it mean LeBron's better or Betty Crocker's a better person? No. Just saying. But it's like walking around just going. It's like what's the book? Confederacy of the Dunces. Is that right? Confederacy of the Dunces. Oh, that's actually. I thought it was on my camera. Let me see where that's coming from. Hold on. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I thought that was just on my screen out here. I didn't realize that was the glare was from. What's up, Claire? Let me try this out. Maybe this will work. How about now? Where the hell is this coming from? Give me 1 second, yo. I wonder if that will help. I don't want to make it too dark in here. I'm so astounded to where is this light coming from. I'm trying. Wait, if I go here, is it coming from back there? What is it coming off of? Hold on. Okay, I guess I'll just do. Oh. Where? This is. I'll just do that. There it is. No, then I gotta adjust where I'm sitting. I don't like any of this. I guess you're just gonna have to deal with that. And maybe it's just the spark of light coming out of my mouth. That's what it is. Until I figure out where it comes from, I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm figuring it out right now. I'm gonna spaz out. If I close this window, does it go away? Let's see. Has it? Nope, it's not that one. Insanity. I like it. How about that one? Now it's still there, huh? And is it this one? What am I getting in the way of? Is it that? It's this. Is it that? Is this the answer? That is the answer. How the hell did that cause that right there? Well, at least we figured it out. That was a fun little adventure, huh? Glad you could join. Haha, musicians, it's so funny you just said that's impossible to get an order of anything now without a mistake being made. I literally just took my laundry And bless these people. I say bless these people too often about things. Oh, this motherfucker right here. Because I appreciate them, and they always, it's a hookup, man. It's nice. Get my laundry done for next to nothing. I don't want to do it. They get it done. Well, anyways, they call me to pick up my laundry. And they're like, yeah, call me back first. I was like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, can you come in and you sort your clothes out? I'm like, what you talking about? Like, yeah, somebody threw your clothes in with somebody else's in the dryer, because it's a big place. So they were doing a lot of laundry. Oh, cool. So I got there and I just had to sort through my clothes. And as I do, I hand her what's mine, and she goes, "Well, here I figured out." And she was a bit mad frantic. It was like, I guess she was a busy day, whatever. I get it. And then she's like, "Okay, okay. We got your stuff together." So I give me money, dip, and I get home, and it's just putting my clothes away. And there was like, I'm like, oh, I'm missing a couple of my shirts, and I see that other clothes, somebody else's in my bag, who I'd already sorted through and gave to her, but she was packing my bag up, and she must have been so frantic that she put his clothes, part of it that I just came and sorted, in my bag, and must have put my shirts in his bag. So now I got to go back there to bring his shorts back to him to get some of my shirts back, hopefully, because now he'll have my shirts, and hopefully he doesn't like my shirts, even though they're really awesome. Yeah, these things happen though. What the fuck ever. What's up, John Shamonic? Musicians. Yeah, no, I was joking around with her about that, but I was just like, yeah. I was like, then I'm looking at, I'm like, oh man. I'm looking at the underwear, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just throwing all of my underwear and all my socks away. I'm getting all of the same pairs of underwear, all the same brand. Because, you go through underwear and they're like, okay, get a new pair, and you don't get the same brand. I'm just getting all the same. I'm just throwing all my underwear, all my socks out. All the same brand of socks, all the same color, all the same undies. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't. I have a lot of T-shirts. It's the one thing that like I'll go through. I'll have a whole collection. I'll go out. I give away my clothes. Like if I'm in public and somebody's like, "That's awesome shirt," I'm like, "All right, cool. Let's trade." Or here, take this, or whatever. I don't know. And so then it's kind of like my sunglasses. I have less of them at the end of the summer. But then I re-up on them, and then I have less. Right now I have a bunch of T-shirts. So I don't always keep track of which ones should I have right now. Like I'll sometimes kind of look in my closet like, oh, I think I'm missing a T-shirt. And then I'll have to go through, who the hell did I give that to, and what kind of stupid day was this? Yeah, I know. They should call it, yeah, it's, yeah, they should smartphones for dumb people, huh? Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna downplay technology and its ability to do calculations. Does that make something intelligent? No. Does it make it capable of doing complex calculations very quickly? Yes. Can it do it faster than humans? Without question. But is there an intuitive part to it? No, there really can't be. I think that's the separation that maybe the computer scientists look at. Is there a intuitive and creative thing behind what a computer system can do? Kind of like Westworld style. At what point is it aware of it? Self-awareness, creativity, and whether something can be, that humor being another. But how could you, someone's laughing, do you know that? Why is that joke funny? There's some jokes you can't say why it's funny, because it's a ridiculous image. You could do it like, here's why something's funny. You remember Borat when he goes and it's black or not, it's funny the way he's doing it because it's him doing it. You'd have to explain 10,000 different things why that's funny. And when you say knock knock, it's not funny in itself. It's funny that people know what it is and relate that you meme it back to them. But you know, here that's I'll go through and I'll go to comedy places, right? And I can tell when there's somebody goes to a comedy club and they don't get the joke. They're slow on it, or it's a chick that doesn't get the reference, or it's a dude that just doesn't understand comedy. And I'll explain jokes to them. That would be my profession. Over explaining a joke. So see, this is why it's funny. And it's funny, you know how long that would take for one joke sometimes? You have to get these 6 references. Okay, you want this one joke? You're going to have to go watch this whole movie with Kevin Costner. It's called Waterworld. And how bad of a movie it is. Now you have a frame of reference for why it's funny that it's called Waiter World. And, and that's another thing about comedy is very interesting. They're like, children fart jokes, always funny. Children jokes, funny. Kids are always laughing. There's something funny about that. Simplicity. But then complex jokes are very intelligent but hyper funny too. And it's just like finding that balance between what is just implicitly in of its own nature funny. A duck-billed platypus. Ducks are funny to me. Ducks? Oh, they make me smile. Don't you just laugh? Is that funny? Or is that just like, oh, that's a duck? I don't know. Certain animals make me laugh. Is it their nature to be funny? Musicians, you don't talk to TV watchers? You're talking to me. I watch TV. I watch a lot of shows. Well, I do. But again, I watch them differently. I watch them for a different purpose. I'm not looking at them like a mindless. I'm getting information out of it. I'm extracting like what are they doing here? What's the imagery? I'm using it as a source of media just as much as music is a media source. Music can lull anyone to sleep, So I listen to music in the background of what's going on in the movie as an overlay. It's just another. Granted, people that watch TV, I don't know what you're saying, But if you're watching something with the purpose of what's the underlining story theme, what's the theme here, what's going on, what are they really saying, what's the correlation, is there future things they're trying to show you, is there a history that they're saying without saying it? Chemtrails, would they? They could, I suppose, but that's a tough one. I'll give some thought to that idea. I mean, if you think about it, think about water. Okay, we're living in different densities of water. You can jump an arc through not distilled water, but water that has elements in it. So if you put a bunch of pieces of copper in there, it'll jump from piece of copper to piece of copper. Clink, clink, clink. It'll jump from here to here, right? No copper there, it's not jumping. Put just water there, not gonna have it. In our atmosphere, there's just clean air. No electrical spark gaps. Now all of a sudden we start filling that up with different types of materials. Perhaps it does. So it could jump and could start an electrical and short circuit something. So yeah, I could see that happening, but it'd be dependent on where it is and how grounded out things are. Some places like do you know what the reason that tornadoes go and knock down trailer parks? It's a real thing. It's a real phenomenon because the aluminum itself is a destructive. How does Dan Winter put it? Destructive interference into what it's doing is it's cutting the ether, basically. The aluminum is. So the energy of the vortex, which is the cyclone or it's a vortex, right? It's finding something that is actually causing damage to the system. and it destroys it. It breaks it apart because that piece of aluminum there is not healthy for anything. For the you know anybody that's healthy that's living in a trailer park, it goes hand in hand. Yeah, once in a while you can find some people in there that are, but then they got flowers around it, and there's some, there's elements there that are, the old people that live there, and they're kind of cool. But a trailer park is that, and it's disruptive to the flow of the energy. So, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, TV will suck your soul for sure. Yeah, I mean, but let's be real, musicians. Music will fuck people up too. You telling me that most pop music isn't putting people, casting a large spell on people? You gonna tell me that rock music is good for people? Rock music is shit. You're gonna tell me that heavy metal isn't heavy metal? Heavy metal is killing people. You're gonna tell me that rap music isn't raping a culture? I mean, music is as much, if not more, of a culprit for destroying people through hypnotic devices. It's the fact that the fact that on TV there's music on TV, you're getting entrained even deeper. But to say music is somehow elevated above television, I don't agree with it whatsoever. They both can be healing. Both in popular hands are not healing. They're very destructive. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's too advanced. Your eyes can't pick up the subliminals. Well, certainly, your eyes can't. Yeah, but the subconscious does. And just because that's happening, still, right in people's face is everything that's going on in music, and they do nothing about it. Point is, any source of media has the same capacity to be healing and disruptive. Think about it: sound therapy, color therapy, aromatherapy. What is the TV doing for you? Eyes and ears. I mean, there's really no difference. It's synesthetic. And yes, the frame rate, that's what getting into your, then we're all fucked anyways. Drive down the street. If you're not just staring at a tree, and at that point, you might as well just start become a dendrophiliac. Yes, I did say go fuck a tree. Go be one with the forest people. There's no escaping reality. The culture, the whole thing, like, and if you want to, for most people, go and live in a forest. Go do that. Go live that life. I don't know, like, there seems to be, again, I like to make this clear. Television in of itself is not a bad thing. Just like a telescope isn't, just like a flute isn't, just like a guitar isn't. But nefarious purposes, ill things happen all the time with all sorts of devices. A knife can cut you or can cut your dinner up. You know what I mean? It just so happens that the majority of what we see on television is pretty shitty. But if you pay attention, some of these people were out there making movies to tell you something, but they just couldn't come out and say it for two reasons. One, they weren't allowed to because of the cult they were in, and number two, because the only way to really express anything to anyone is through allegorical tales. You can't directly point at something; they'll never understand. It's too in their face. You have to tell somebody through this way. Yes, the people running the show are not interested in benevolent entertainment. Correct. Wait, just like symbolism isn't? What's up, Black Sun? What do you mean, black? Symbolism isn't what? Yeah, everything is neutral. Everything is neutral. The people running shit? No, what they're interested in is the is attraction through magnetism to obtain energy. That's what they're interested in. They don't care how it happens. If it happened through benevolent ways, they would do it. They just don't see how that would get them what they want. They're not doing something that they consider bad. It's a necessary evil because they don't think that only good exists. It's a balance of all of these darks and lights and good and bad, and whatever purpose is necessary, it will be done that way. It doesn't matter. I'll be good all day if that's going to get me what I want. I'll be bad all day if it's going to get me what I want. That's their modus. That's their modus operandi. So they don't distinguish between good and evil like that. They don't distinguish between beneficent and benevolent and these destructive things. They don't. There is no bad symbolism. There is no bad number. There is no bad, granted, there's no bad tone even. If we really want 440 versus 432, 440 isn't necessarily bad, but it's disharmonic. It's not going to create a good shape. So we'd say that doesn't form properly. But what if we had made something that we don't want anymore? Then wouldn't we throw some different frequency to shatter that down so we can rebuild? That would make sense. Now, does that make sense to do it at all the time to all the people? To put it in all the food, to put it on all the airwaves? No, not to the people that it's being done to. Yeah, God. Yeah, God. G-O-D. Gold. Yeah, well, it's gold, oil, and drugs, which is God. Yeah, I mean, how often... The dilemma is for the people that are running shit is they can't get their mind around how they could have a good experience and everyone else could too. So they can't see it that way. They're blind to that idea. Like the idea of resource-based economy, everybody having enough and everybody having fun. Why? Because they get drunk on they're drunk on the power, and they you go to Florida and you see all these fine chicks, right? Dope chicks. And then they're on these boats and they're out having these champagne. You know who the guy is filming that? And you know what he looks like behind there? He's a slop. It's a person that in the real world, that dude would have zero chance having intercourse with her, right? And that's like a draw, right? There's a magnetism, right? But she's attracted to everything else. And he goes, I don't give a shit. I got money. I got power. I have everything I want. What are you going to give that all up and then do all the work to have a personality, to get in shape, to read some books, to be intelligent, not just have money and just do a couple of simple things to... No, that's not going to happen. So that's the standard practice for most of them. They know what they know and it's getting them what they want. Why would they go about and share that? Doesn't make sense. It's not in their best interest. You've got everything you want. Just give it all away so you can be poor and run through the world and struggle every day. Who the fuck is going to pick that choice? Nobody. And so that's where we live. Until people just stop giving them the power, who cares? And you got to take back your power, the light, it's all in you. Remember that. Which is not... so funny. Yeah. Well, I mean, Christopher, the funny thing about that is, if we place that in the human body, the oil, the chrism, the drugs that run through our system, the gold star, the gold crown, that's how it works. I mean, that's on a hyperdimensional level. That's on the spiritual realm. It's physically inside, but it's also out there too. It's reflective. Crazy, right? Oh, for anybody that's new here in the future, most everybody already knows, if you want to, this is what I do to make dollars. You can donate to me through CashApp, PayPal, and Venmo. And if you have them Bitcoins and all that crypto stuff, CashApp now, and I think Venmo, Maybe the other one does too. I haven't even looked at it lately, but I know they accept the crypto. So look at that. And I think I have another wallet under there. Yeah. And if anybody does need help mentally, spiritually, or health wise, yeah, physical health, and you want a one-on-one, you can get at me, Theo Luminous, TheoLuminous, gmail.com. And yeah, we can hook something up. Okay, cool. What else? Oh, and you guys too, you know that. But you guys already hooked me up. So. What's the day looking like? Another early morning of rain, and thunder, and lightning. And I woke up and I was gonna go back to take back my laundry as we were talking about. It started raining, so I was like, I guess I'll just do this little video here. And you notice how a little video turns into an hour? It's like whenever I do a video, it's like when you tell one of your friends, "Hey, let's just go to the bar, have a drink." And you know, sometimes you go and you really believe you're gonna have 2 drinks. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. If you're the kind of person that can literally go out and have 2 drinks, I don't think you're human. You know what I mean? Or I mean, I have, but it takes a certain kind of person, or like I have to be up tomorrow, or I have shit to do. Like I got a minute to spare. What's up, Down to Earth? It hasn't reached 80 in Pennsylvania. It's May 10th. It's May 11th. I don't want to say that's abnormal, is it? I used to live in Baltimore. What part of it wouldn't be 80 now? It'd still be in the high 70s. I don't know that's that abnormal. Yeah, I can't. Down here, I don't know. Like it's now the temperature just now we're in the we're in the summertime. It's like 80 something every day. I mean, it might dip into the high 70s, but we good. Now we get can't wait till we get to the 90s. People out here like sweating, and I'll get my tan on. Oh, 30s and 40s, well. And that's why yesterday I already did the big talk on why I don't know why people live where it's cold. Yeah, it seems off. Yeah, I know. For me, since I've lived in the Northeast, it's been a while, so I wouldn't know. I forget about the seasons. For me, this winter was. Didn't snow or anything, but it was very dreary. Because I don't know. Every day I'm just like, oh, when can I put shorts on again? There was too many days that I had put pants on. So now it's like basically, I don't get to wear. I'll get to wear a suit, a linen suit once in a while. Like maybe brunch and maybe nighttime, but only linen. You can't wear a normal suit here. Although people do be wearing suits down here during the summertime. I don't know what the fuck they doing, but they do put suits on. Usually people with money, because they got the suits freshly tailored for them. You know, good materials. Oh, Arizona. Well, Philly to Arizona, that's a big transition. Have you been to Arizona? The first time I went to Arizona, I went to Phoenix, and I was playing soccer. It was the middle of July, and got to halftime, and I literally was like, not sweating. And I was like, why am I not sweating? It's 100 and some degrees out, and it's so dry, it just sucks it right off of you. And I was like, barely could play the second half. It was just like heat stroke shit. And it's hot as fuck. And getting around, you have to. It's basically you have to drive everywhere, for many reasons. It's how sprawled it is, and it's too hot to be walking around. It's a very drive city. You can't, like Philadelphia, you just walk around and fucking. I've always liked Philly. Philly was a fun city. I liked it better than Baltimore in the sense that you could walk the city and get around, and you're still like you got your neighborhoods and shit. Where Baltimore, it's more neighborhoods outside of the city. The city proper wasn't open at night. There was like the city, and then just outside of that in Baltimore. Where in Philly, the city is part of, it's cut. You know, it's intertwined with businesses and housing and shit. Musicians. Oh, it's warm up in Canada now. Yeah, you're not up in the mountains with Stan. He said it was winter. It was snowing yesterday. Yeah, and Philadelphia to Arizona. That's your first summer there, man. If you're really going to, that's a transition, man. Culture wise, it's a huge transition. And temperature wise, yeah, have fun. If you have a choice in the matter, I would transition through. I'd probably transition through Denver, or perhaps down to Austin, Texas. Oh yeah, you bought just halfway? Yeah. I don't know. I haven't, other than Phoenix, I haven't been a lot of West Coast places. Florida, I've been through Florida. I mean, right now it seems like the place to be, considering as much as people shit on Florida. I mean, I lived in Alabama, Florida state line, and I've been through Florida, like 5 or 6 cities. I always enjoyed it there. I never had a problem there. Seems like the spot to be. I mean, obviously, New Orleans, you fucking can't beat it, but temperature-wise, good transition. I couldn't see going directly to Arizona from, what are you, Flagstaff or Texas. I've heard many people say Austin is an awesome city. Are you down to earth? Are you Caucasian? Are you of a Caucasian persuasion? Are you melanated? Do you have a vagina or do you have a penis? Are you a tranny? Are you old? Are you young? What kind of music do you like? If you're asking me, I'll tell you the best place to be. Do you like to be naked? Yes to what? Yes to which one? Yes to, are you Caucasian? You're Caucasian. You're a Caucasian dude. And you like some hip hop, but probably more, trying to think what you probably like ELO. You like 70s electric rock. Hey, musicians, anywhere away from people? Yeah, it's people's too much. Yeah, I mean, just to get out of the winter months, though, down to earth, the Caucasian dude that likes electric light orchestra and some hip hop. You kind of got, yeah, 90s. Are you like 90s hip hop or 90s rock? That's two divergent things, but some people, like, if you like good music, there's some good in both of that. Huh. How old are you? Oh, okay. Well, how old are you? So you're in your 30s? What are you like? What are you like, 33, 34? Which would probably listen to like late 90s or early 90s. You mean like Tribe kind of early, or you mean like 35? Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, I wouldn't. There's, look at, you have the South, and then you have what would be like coastal South. So New Orleans is a staple unto itself. It has nothing to do with the rest of the South. Nothing. Understand that. The rest of the South is what you think of as, Driving Miss Daisy, slow, sweet as syrup, and you know, Atlanta's a great city. Atlanta's awesome. Um, Super sprawl, lots of places to live. I like Atlanta a lot. I would have probably lived in Atlanta. I used to go through there a lot. Um, Atlanta's a good transition, definitely, and it's easy to get places. It's a hub. It's a hub airport. You get awesome. I just don't know what city I would pick, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna live on the beach. There's no reason to be in Florida if you're not living on a beach. Put it that way. The rest of the, like kind of the southern places, like I don't like Nashville. I just don't. It's too racist for me. I didn't like it. Uh, felt very out of place. No, I'm saying racist against black people. I didn't like it. I went there with my Indian girlfriend. I had a tan, and I had a tan at the time. Felt mad out of place. Not to mention it just was very. I mean, I've met some cool people. I've met some people from there. I've hung out there. St. Louis was cool, but you know, just to get out of the Northeast to get to some heat. Hmm. Austin. Musicians. That's right. That's right. I forgot where you got it. You said New Brunswick. Okay, well then if you're gonna do beach life, okay, so like New Orleans beaches are within good beaches are within 3 hours. You can get to a beach. I mean, there's beaches. There's the river. There, but if you need beach, um, then you probably. But if you've never lived a beach town life is different than a beach city. You probably want to go to a place that's like at a city that you can get to the beach within 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Because I've lived at beach towns, and during the off seasons, there's nothing to do. And then you have places like Galveston, might be cool. You could look into Galveston. A lot of people, so that's a cool place. And so if you need music, Austin is a great place for nightlife. I can't say enough about New Orleans. Hmm. What's up, Arcane? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Arcane, yeah. You like Austin, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I've never been. I've just been told by everybody that I know. They're like, "Oh, you fucking love it there." And I know some people that live there, and they're like, "Dude, why the fuck don't you come to Austin?" I was like, "Cause I'm already in New Orleans." I was like, "So like, you're gonna tell it's like I'm dating a fucking 10, and you're gonna tempt me with your 8. I ain't got time for that shit." Well, yeah, I mean the Texas thing. What you get, see, here's the thing: Texas and Florida, you get that thing where everybody's a hick and everybody got guns and everybody's duh duh, and you see the worst parts of it. And it's not like that at all. I mean, I've never been to these places, but I know people from Houston school place. I know a lot of cool people from Houston. I know a lot of people from Austin. I know people from all sorts of places in Florida. Uh, and it's not as certainly there are shitty places. It's like you could name any city. Like you talk about ghettos. If you're from Philly, you want to see some shit? Go, go to Philly. If you want a reason not to go to Philly, just go listen to Bill Burr. He'll tell you, he'll give you 8 minutes on why this the fuck to stay out of Philly. And if you've never heard the Bill Burr bit, where he rips Philadelphia an asshole like just into 100 pieces, I highly suggest go listen to that. Philadelphia. I never heard that before. Philadelphia. I mean, I always liked it. I didn't get the I didn't get the vibe he did. There was, there's only a few places that I was not a big fan of. Boston, Nashville, those two places, for as far as I know, can suck a dick. I mean, I liked Philly. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's me. Like for me, Baltimore, Philly, I liked. Boston, Nashville, didn't like. Most people say, it's the same fucking place. I don't know. I didn't see it. Yeah, musicians. I think people, yeah, fleeing the libtard states. Well, it's interesting because it's funny. You talk to the people like from Florida and whatever, like, nah, keep your ass out of here. Like, we don't want you down here anyways. Like, keep your dumb asses where you are. You chose that shitty life up there with those retards. Don't come down here and fuck our shit up. You like Pittsburgh better. I was okay with Pittsburgh. I was okay with it. I don't know. It was all right. Yeah, Boston is. And then what's funny though is I love the comedians that come from Boston. I love a lot of music from Boston. But I've been there. I've been there a few times. I could do without it. You could pop that thing into the. You could let that float into the New York Harbor. The rest of the shit. Anybody hear about that? Like the New York Harbor? There's so much human sewage in there that it's starting to pile up where it's pushing the like the whole harbor is it's not getting eaten away at enough and dissipating, that it's starting to build like a mountain of shit. Might want to fix that. People are living on a pile of shit, actually. Like, so down to earth. So are you really like serious? Like, do you have work or whatever? Or you could just move. If you could just move, and you don't, like, if there's work that you need, I mean that would depend a little bit, I guess, what city you go to. But if you can just get up and dip, I mean, I'd sell anybody on this is the best city on the planet, New Orleans. Like you're not gonna beat it. No, there's nowhere better, hands down, guarantee it. Guarantee it. You just moving, like, just fuck it. Yeah. I mean, if you want beach life, just pick a cool beach in Florida. It depends on how hippie you want it. You talk to Jay Marley. He lives in Siesta Keys. He said he likes it, but he's been there for so long he wants to move. Damn shit. Maybe you could rent his house out. I don't fucking know. You know Jay Marley on Jay Marley on here? Maybe he's probably listening in the background. I think he's probably taking a bath, masturbating, doing an enema all at the same time while listening to this in the background. I'm in New Orleans. Who the fuck do you think I am? I told you I live in the greatest city on the fucking realm. Yes, I live literally in the soul of America. Like, no, quite literally. The latitude and longitude it's literally at the center of one of the most specific, important ley lines on the planet. Like not the city, like literally my house, like where I live. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's pretty important. Yeah, look it up. It's his name is Peter Champeaux. Champeaux, and it's called The Soul of America. And he does shit all over the world, and he does ley lines and geomagnetic things and all of these different places, and plots them out, like the Noxa lines and the just name like he's the I think it's called the Geometry of Places. Yeah, Geometry of Places, and then look up New Orleans. It's fucking super hyper important. And there's one major line. It's called the Esplanade line. And it's funny because I didn't know about this until after I moved to where I am. And I didn't even know about another reason this location is absurd. Yeah. You want to know where I live? Look up 30 degrees by 90 degrees. That's exactly where I live. Like maybe I'm off by like a point 0.012. Like it's the exact spot is just over here somewhere. I know exactly where it is, but I've looked it up on 3 different things and it's off by just like a little bit and tells you exactly where it is. But I think I know exactly where it starts. And I've never been there, but I want to go. It's just it's like I don't know, the exact spots either. I think it's at City Park. All right, so City Park is right there. So that's I think why they put City Park where it is. But they say, according to the GPS, it says it's the beginning of this shipping yard that literally at the beginning of the train tracks going one direction, which makes a lot of sense too. So. Yeah, like this is the time I wish I could just push a button on here and I could bring it up and just show you split screen. Like that kind of shit should be so easy. I should be able to just pull it up right now and just like do bloop bloop. But I can't. Can't do it. Don't have the capacity. I'm sure there's programs and shit you could, but I want that easy button on my phone. So, down to earth, who are you? How do you know me? Have you been here before? I don't mean the earth. I mean, like, have you ever listened to me before? Do you know who the fuck I am? No, seriously. I mean, have you listened to me before? Do you know at all what I talk about or any of my other videos? Or did you just like, hey, here's some asshole talking? Let me listen to him. It's always one of my curiosities for many reasons, but like how the algorithms work out, like if like I just poof that just came up on my feed, or whether it's like somebody was like, hey, listen to this jackass. And then also like sometimes when people are like, oh, I tell people to go and listen to your channel, I was like, oh, which did you tell them a specific video or because I'm all over the place when I talk about. Okay, cool. All right, that's awesome. Yeah, some people like the first time, like, oh, first time I've been here. I'm like, oh shit. Did somebody tell? Yeah, somebody said come listen to your show. I was like, oh fuck. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything different. I just wonder, what did they expect? What do they want me to talk about? Do I follow Santos Bonacci? I know his work. Yeah, I've done some other videos where on Dan Winter, Santos, Savan, like my early work, you never see my early work. I condensed a lot of what he did and tried to take some ideas about astrology and things and simplify it for people to understand, like kind of like, let me give it to you this way. Walter Russell takes the periodic table of elements and makes it a spine with the octaves, so it's a curve. So you have what's on the negative and the positive side, and these are the octaves. And so that periodic table of elements that you see that is abstract and weird and you can't figure out, it makes complete sense in that way. And I try to take his large body, like most of the work that I've read and seen, I try to take it and compress it and make it easier to understand for people that don't quite get it. Yeah, electromagnetism. He puts it on that scale. If you've never read the Universal One, you probably won't be able to read it. I mean, if you can find it, if you find a copy, have fun. It's expensive, but it's a difficult read. It's very confusing at first, but you can look at the pictures. The pictures will make sense. Pictures make a lot of sense, and that's what I was getting at. He makes a lot of really great graphs that explain things very succinctly. So, nonetheless, yes, Santos. I'm very familiar with Santos. And the thing I really appreciate about Santos is that when he first came out with all of the knowledge of astrology that he had known for years, he was delivering it from a heliocentric standpoint. And then when he came across the information on the Earth realm being much different than we're told, he was able to go, huh, no shit. And not only does it still applies to the work that he was talking about. He didn't have to alter much. Like, he was like, it all fits into place. There was just a few words and a few things that, oh, it meant that, not that. And he was able to change the entire paradigm from looking at it from a heliocentric model to going, oh, it's this realm centric. It's here. We're here, and oh, and so he was take that giant framework of knowledge, and it still works, and in fact it works better, and that I fucking enjoy about him. And then everybody like, he's part of a secret society. Well, good. So what? Did you learn something? But he's okay. Go talk to your preacher. Go to church, because that guy with the priest outfit. No, he's not any part of any secret society. He's not any part of any priestcraft. No, go talk to your scientists. No, those scientists with those white lab coats, they're not part of any priestcraft either. Oh no, go talk to your teachers at those schools that they work at. No, they're not part of any secret societies. Go listen to them. People kill me, yo. Hello, Denise. Franson, what are you doing? The Invisible Rainbow by Arthur Fritzenberg. I do not know of this. I do not know. No. It sounds familiar, though. What's it about? The Invisible Rainbow. Fritzenberg. Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. My whole goal this morning was to return some laundry. Oh, actually, I have another load to do, but you guys are giving me the weather and the electricity. Interesting. Okay, I'll look it up. Yeah, I'm interested in. There's a bunch of theories that they all fit together, and they kind of overlap, but a lot of theories are incomplete, or have some major fault, like doesn't make sense, like there's a few theories that they got stuck in the idea, the electric universe theory, great. Except for that, all of them, the thunderbolts of the gods, they got stuck on, we're on a spinning ball flying through outer space. And then I'm like, well, okay, I'm not throwing the whole theory out because it still applies, but they just can't get out of that. I'm like, but that's really pretty, like, if you're so scientific, it'd be so glaringly obvious that there's something wrong with the model that you have, and this other model seems to look a little more secure, you know. And then there's quite a few, but I like the idea that the realm we're on is a flat realm as far as we can tell, and it's a motherboard, and it's electrical circuit system, and then there's on top of it, you know, I think there's realm upon realm. I don't whether there's a dome or whatever above us, I could care less if it's a glass thing, or it's some sort of electromagnetic plasmic etheric shield of some sort that keeps densities, kind of like water. You have different densities of water. You have easy water, you have, you know, soft water, you have the dense water, you have thick, you know, there's different viscosities. So if there's, you know, even the air, you have different amounts of whatever that is, right? What type of detergent do I use? Well, when I did my own clothes, I would either use soap nuts, bag of soap nuts, or whatever the greenest, you know what I mean? Like, not green, but whatever the What have I found to be the most non-chemically additive? Now I take it somewhere to get shit done. Because I don't. It would cost me way too much money to do it in my building because the machines are very small, and it would cost me a lot of money and a lot of time. So I take it to a place to get it done, and it's actually cheaper and it doesn't take me any time to do it. So it's a win-win, but I'm pretty sure they're using some sort of chemical bullshit, obviously. But I'm not until I have enough monetary credits. There's not much I can do about that. On my list of things of what's most important to me for me spending money on, it's a roof over my head. It's this thing here in front of me, so I can talk to you guys, so I can get donations, so I can keep a roof over my head and keep this phone on and keep my internet. You know what I mean? And then food. So you know what I mean? The Maslow wasn't wrong about that shelter and food thing, man. He just didn't know about technology. He didn't know about phones, man. But it's kind of on there. He just didn't see the development going this way. And then down the line would be, what am I washing my clothes in? That's kind of bottom of the line. Well, I know that it's important that I shouldn't be walking around bathing in chemicals. Time, value, pros, cons. Orgone energy isn't really proven. Um, it's based upon piezoelectricity. Yeah. Well, I've talked about that in piezoelectric and the way compression works. It's the way the pyramids worked. It's the way waterfalls work with the stones in the waterfall and what those are made of. It's hitting a piece of granite, and again, these things can all be made into molds. You can grind down any material and then recast it and you wouldn't know the difference. How would you know? But these people are like, oh, we tested it. That's actual granite. So you can't grind that up and just put a polymer or something together and just bind it back together and put it into a mold? Of course you can. How do you think shit was built? Afro magic dilutes science. What do you mean by that? You mean like metaphysics debunks or trumps science? Or are you saying dilutes it in the sense that because magic actually exists? Or are you saying you're saying science doesn't seem as the science we're given isn't exactly correct because magic does exist? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what I agree with. I say metaphysics and the grand levels of magic are that's up there. That's everything. And then the sciences and what we see as the physical sciences, well, they're farther down. They still apply. They still work. But 99.9 is down to about 99.7% of the time now. And it becomes less and less as people's brain works different. This is why science disproves itself, because people start to think different and it starts to change the way things function. And also because it's too hard to tell causal nature of things, especially like the human body. There's too many things going on in the human body that you cannot just go, well, if you do this and this works. You don't know. It'd be like, I try to, there's an akin like this way, that if I was working in a laboratory and all of my equipment was all dirty, and I started to do a scientific experiment in it with a couple chemicals, and I had a reaction happen, it just worked. Why would I expect that to work again if the chemicals that were in the dirty thing before were different? So you don't know those two chemicals did anything. You know those two chemicals had a reaction with the 60 other things that were in there. And you wouldn't know. What if you had clean equipment? Then you could figure that out. But the human body is the same thing. Your body is a filthy shithole of dead bodies, chemicals, also. You've never had a clean body. So how can you be sure? How can you be certain that the result of whatever you've consumed is actually that doing it and not the reaction to the other shit in your body? You don't know. You can't know. We can make quality assessments that if we can get a decently healthy people around and we start taking this one substance, this is what happens. So we can make an assessment. But even reasonably healthy people, what if those reasonably healthy people were all consuming fruits all day, and the acids in the fruits were actually doing the job on whatever we were giving them as the you see all the troubles you're going to get into trying to decipher whether or not any chemical compound is having any effect on the human body, because the human body itself is a dirty vessel. You can't make these assessments. So there can be no real true pharmacological treaty on this. This is, you're not finding the perfect body. So no one can be like, this is the one. This is the pill that solves everything. Can't be done. Certainly, mushrooms are going to work the way they work. Certainly MDMA is going to, certainly these things are going to have their psychosomatic effects on people's psychology, their psyche. But again, it doesn't have the same effect. Will people have a journey? Sure. But is it going to be the same journey? No. So from a purely physical, biological standpoint, people that consume something, they're not getting the same results. Yeah, you put it in the body, and it's interacting with everything else that's going on in the body. It's too complicated. That's what I had to say about that. What else? Should I play some music? Should I play some music? What should I do today? Man, it's Tuesday. I should probably go do what everybody does on Tuesdays and go beat up some homeless hookers. Oh, no, that's tomorrow. Today is tacos. Look. Get my days mixed up, and you got me out there doing the wrong thing on the wrong day. Who knows what the hell's gonna happen? Down Earth, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I used to make a thing about it on Tuesdays, because I lived on another part of town where it was a whole festival. It was Taco motherfucking Tuesdays, and so happy hour people would be out in droves, people bumping into each other, margaritas, buzzed by 5, tore up by 6, dollar tacos. It's a shit show, a lot of fun. Now it's like, do you mask and sit over there and you just taco, and just if you get your mask in here, and it's like, oh. Yeah, I had a dream about that last night. The whole I was just walking through places with that. It was funny too. I've been walking around a lot without my mask, like in places where you're not, like people they try to enforce it, like at grocery stores and streetcar and all these, and I just kind of, I don't know if I'm just so confident or I'm doing some actual misdirection on purpose, but I just don't really give a shit. I'm just like tired of it. And I had a dream about that last night too. It's very interesting. Oh no. Arcane. Yeah, you're not allowed in Chipotle. Oh, you got one of those. You got one of those arguments. Fucking idiots, yo. I swear to God. And you can't blame them. Like what they got a job, man. They gotta pay their bills, and they're gonna have a problem with their boss, and then that and that. Like you just got. It's like, well, how do you deal with stupidity? And Arcane, I told you, it's not supposed to explode. You have to keep the top off. You have to loosen the cap. It has to breathe. It's called. You have two types of fermentation. One produces something different. So one would produce vinegar. You need what is called aerobic. Aerobic. So you have aerobic and anaerobic, meaning breathing or not breathing. So to internally breathe, that pressurizes the inside and it blew it up. I never heard of that happening. You must have had it somewhere it's warm, but you need to keep the lid off so it can breathe and it ferments better, and it gets more ammonia rich. That's fucking funny. You blew up. Yeah, I know. Just go somewhere else and spend it. I get you down to earth. It is just. It's like, well, here's the thing: is that it's a public space. They can't really do that. Like if you really just stood there and be like, nah, like you're gonna serve me because, like that's your business. It's your job. Nothing that you're doing is. They're doing everything is illegal. Like if you were like, no, this is my religious right, blah blah. You can't. This is they can't do that. For them to own a business, if it's not a private club, if it's public, that is open to the public. They can't refuse you service. They can only refuse you service based upon pre-existing things that were part of the right now the shit that's happening. It's all suggestions. It has nothing to do with anything to do with legalese or law or no. It's just an art of misdirection via the media. None of it is enforceable. None of it. But do you want to go through that whole fucking thing? Then even though you're right, you're a throbbing asshole, and you got to wait 30 minutes to deal with some bullshit just to get some service that they're gonna then fucking despise you for, and shit in your food, and you're gonna just ruin the experience anyways. So spend your money elsewhere. Yeah, man, Arcane, I'm telling you, you gotta keep the mask. You gotta keep the mask. You don't keep the top off. You just keep it loose. Just so you tighten it, and then you pull it back till you can kind of wiggle it a little bit. That's where and just keep it there. And you do that for a couple months. Yeah, man. I mean, at that point it becomes. I get what you're saying. I've dealt with that shit a couple times because it's the principle of the goddamn thing. Like I'd go through that because the principle of the fucking thing, and then I'd be like, I don't even want your food anyways. I just prove a point. But at the same time, is it worth it? Is it worth wasting your energy to, in one sense it is. And it's for other people. But is anybody even going to recognize that you made that sacrifice for them? In another sense, it's for those people there just like, yo, you need to know what the fuck is up. And y'all wild the fuck out. You fucking... I currently have a lot of coffee running through my system. Yeah, some places. Well, sometimes I walk into places and I just stare somebody in the face. Sometimes I use a little bit of mental shit, and sometimes I'll use like a misdirection on something, and I'll try to get somebody to do something, and I'll there's a way to do it psychologically where they wouldn't even. Go look Go look up Darren Brown. I don't know that well, he'd have to probably buy one of his books, but it's just you overload someone's brain with way too many pieces of information, which is funny. The beginning of this video is kind of about this. Parts of confusion and things. Overload someone's brain and they'll have no idea what's going on. You have there's like 3 things that you can do to overload their brain, and then they're gonna miss everything. It happens, yeah. Yeah, oh dude, that happened to me. That was awesome. I was literally I walked onto the streetcar, and usually they're very forceful about it. Well, when I got on, I just looked at it was kind of busy. I looked at the dude in the face and I just showed him my pass, like, to, because normally you slide it through the thing. And I showed it to him, like, I'm from New Orleans, like, this is what you do. And he's like, hey, good. And I got on, and everybody else already on the thing, had theirs on. And I went to the back, and these people came to the back with me, and they were from out of town. And they looked at me, and then slowly they just started taking their masks off. Even their kids had masks on too, which is, I was like, oh, fuck, these fucking people. They're going to say something to me. And I was like, I'm going to have this issue? God damn it. And then they all took their masks off. And I was like, oh, yes. And then I was like, hey. And I said something to them. Not about that, but just like with the wink, wink, nod, nod kind of shit. But yeah, that's really cool. Like, there is that kind of to encourage people to be, I don't know, to just not let the fuckery fuck with them. Like, at what point, like, if everyone took their mask off, what would anybody do? Would the person in the front of the bus be like, yeah, y'all gotta put your masks on? People like, no. That person would just turn the fuck around and drive the goddamn streetcar. That's what they would do. Although, in the other direction, I was on the motherfucking streetcar by myself at 2 a.m, sitting in the middle of it. And the person driving the streetcar slows down, stop, turns around and says, you gotta put your mask on. I'm well beyond 6 feet away. They have a mask on and a plastic shield around where they're sitting. When they stop to tell me to put my mask on, I was like, we about to do this right now. We have a fucking 2 a.m. standoff from this distance where I go, no. Just turn around and drive the fucking thing. I'm drunk, and I'm going to go through all this shit. Go through all that right there. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And, I had somebody else do, they had their mask on here. They were security guard. They had their mask on right here. Their nose was out. They're like, where's your mask at? Where's your mask? And they're like kind of walking towards me. I'm like, get away from me. I was like, stay 6 feet away. They keep walking to me. Where's your mask? I was like, motherfucker, you ain't even wearing yours right. Don't come up. Don't get in my face. Get the fuck away from me. That's kind of bullshit. Just on somebody, they give them a little bit of heart. They're just like, oh, this is my job. That's all you do with a mask on. No, your job isn't. Your job is a security guard for the building to make sure that somebody doesn't live here. Well, I clearly live here because I just opened the fucking door with my key. And you're not even wearing your mask right. So, like, what are you doing? Yeah, I was like, this shit is, people are cuckoo. Yeah, I mean, the CDC just has nothing to do with anything. It's part of a different. They're just pushing something on the media. They have no control over anything. They suggest things. That's hilarious, Arcane. Fucking. Yeah. Well, that's empty threats because they can't. They know it, but that's what they're told to do. There's no precedence for it. It's something for them to do. Just to instill that fucking bullshit ass fear into people. They got the vaccine but don't know if they got it. Yeah, I've heard a couple people be like, I just got mine, I'm about to get the second. I'm like, which all these years we can't figure out how to do shit right. Nobody figures, and all of a sudden we got these different companies coming to market with something that isn't even, what's going on here? confused. Normally, what do you get? You just get the thing, right? You get the jab of whatever it is in the past, right? So there was something that you needed that for. And all of a sudden, there's multiple companies that just try this one, try this one. Hey, try this one. It's kind of like it's like crackheads and heroin addicts. Like, hey, try this. This is a new one. Let me try that one out. That might be cool. Might kill you. Sounds to me like a bunch of people that are heroin addicts. I don't know what's in there. I don't know either. Let's stick it, let's jab it into my face. Let's see what happens. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Well, on to bigger and better things. Let's talk about I don't know. Let's talk about necrophilia. There we go. Let's upgrade topics here. We're gonna we already did dendrophilia. Let's do necrophilia. If you don't know what necrophilia is, you shouldn't be part of this conversation. Cosmic Sapphire? God damn. Yeah, I do have a friend that I'm kind of a little bit that I know knows better. That I know. But I'm a little bit kind of I think that they would not tell me they did if they did, because they know that I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because my wrath would be of no equal. I would literally be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so I'm a little bit I'm like dude, like if it's our, because it was funny because this person was already sick a couple times with things that were, I was like, you sure you didn't go get some experimental thing done on you? Are you sure that didn't happen? Because they kept asking me like, oh, I was like, all right, yeah, this is okay. Well, then take your mask off, because that's going to cause bronchial infection. Blah blah blah. Once you know, she has basically bronchitis for like twice. She gets it twice. Like, how do you get it twice? Like, don't you understand what's happening here? And I send her things. Look at it. Just read. These are doctors telling you what's happening. And then just like, you realize, like, you could literally, like, if you do nothing, you live and have life. If you go and start taking experimental bullshit, there's a chance you could end up in a wheelchair, end up with brain damage, end up fucked up, end up dying. What's the choice? But then influences, people around her that are dumb as fuck. But that's her immediate. It's frustrating. It's like you're how far does your like, I'm not trying to make, if it was the other way around, I could understand. If I was trying to make money off of what I'm saying and doing for that person, but I'm trying to help them to prevent injury, and that doesn't have as much sway as what is immediately there, that as if I can't tell you how many people are like, oh, I trust what you say. You're literally one of, if not the smartest person I've ever talked to on the planet, and by far. I was like, all right, so you trust me. I'm not trying to steer you wrong here. And then these people just go and do different shit. I'm just like, so are you lying to me, or blowing fucking smoke up my ass? Cosmic Sapphire, your sister said that. Tell your sister to suck a fucking dick. That's from me. Tell her I said suck a fucking dick. And while she's at it, while she's sucking dick, do some research. Tell her to get a brain. Your sister's a mindless, dumb cunt, as far as I'm concerned. She does. Then tell her that she doesn't deserve to see you. Because ask her, do you want to see me dead? Do you want to see me in a wheelchair? Do you want to see me as a paraplegic? Do you want to see me with some sort of fucking disease? Because you want me to be as dumb and diseased as you filthy fucking rotten cunt? That's what I would say. If that was me. People's wild, y'all. I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, she's royally fucked, isn't she? Well, tell her not to see you then. How good of a relationship? I mean, do you have a good relationship with her? How good could it be if she's gonna try to um, dominate you, domineer you, control you, manipulate you to do something that is no good for your health that you know better? She controls you. She controls you. She owns your life. She ain't about, yeah, no, that's bullshit, yo. And brother against brother and sister against sister. This is the whole fucking thing, man. People wild, man. You gonna drown with the rest of the lemmings, man, if you listen to these fucking people. Swear to God, people. And this is why I'm actually one of the one times in my life that I'm happy. I'm more of a dolo solo. I run, but like this is me. Like I could give, like for a long time I could really care less about anybody's. I could not care less, excuse me, about people's opinion or like, you're not gonna be my friend. I don't give a fuck. That's your problem with your value system. You know, it's a problem with your intelligence, not mine. Go fuck yourself. That's my general attitude. Most people can go fuck themselves. Yeah. Why do they cause division? Because now you're a bad person. So she's more deluded than anything. That's her issue. You realize that if you do, and somehow you don't get sick and fucked up from it, that now she owns you. Now anything she says you have to do. She controls your body. She controls your mind, because they controlled her mind. She's not gonna come around to what you say, but you're gonna do what she says. That's a bitch move on her part. Word is bond. Then tell her if that's what she thinks, then don't see her. You know what it will take? How about this? What if this shit okay? What about a year? Hold on. What about if a year goes by? You don't see her for a year, and she'll call you. You talk to her in a year or something. How you doing? Oh, I'm healthy. I'm good. How you? Oh, I've been sick a couple times. Oh, really? Huh. Maybe 2 years goes by. Who the fuck knows? She'll call you from her fucking hospital bed when she's, heart palpitations. She's somehow develops gonorrhea in her butthole. Like, who knows, dude? It's like, I don't know, man. It's literally now you have crackheads pressuring you into being a crackhead like them. You have people that are on drugs pressuring you into doing drugs. Maybe it's just me, because I grew up getting allergy shots, and I grew up basically having Munchausen's, making people believe they're sick when they're not. I've done enough. I've been around people that do drugs, but like now, if someone's doing drugs around me, I'm at a party, whatever, they're gonna fucking blow some lines and do this and that. I'm like, I'm good. They're like, oh, come on, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm good, thanks. Have a good day. Enjoy it. More for you. Enjoy. I mean, will I participate if I want to? Sure. But in this case, with this shit, they can keep that shit to themselves. Let me know in 3 years. Here's what we'll do. We'll do a study in 3 years from now. I'll ask all the people that did and all the people that didn't what their health has been like, and we'll statistically look at how many people deceased from that shit, how many people got I don't know, how many people in wheelchairs, how many people got just all jacked up from it, and how many people are actually better for it. We'll see. And then if it turns out it's good in 3 years, I'll blow rails. I'll blow rails off of fucking Michelle Obama's cock. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, experts in manipulating. Thank you. Yep. There you go, down to earth. Family has to be the hardest to wake up. Yeah, the last time I was around the people that raised me, the amount of delusion that they lived in the 10th level of delusion on anything. Sickly, disgusting. The news was on. The TV never was off. The news was always on. The arguments consisted of, I'm a fucking idiot because I know there was something about something on Jeopardy, and I was like, that's all like fucking scripted, and like, this person's real. And I was like, you're arguing with me about fucking Jeopardy being a non no, it's real, that really. And arguments about politics. I'm like, I don't even fucking believe in politics. Like, it's all a stage. And like, they were so angry about who was winning. This is years and years ago. And that they were like enraged, like thoroughly red in the face, enraged. And I'm like, what changed? You're still a piece of shit. You were before, and you still are. And now you're more of a piece of shit. People, yeah, they're not going to. They can't. They won't. I believe that people can change. I know it. I see people change all the time, but it's usually, I see it in a health way. But usually what it takes is what's called a health crisis, where somebody deals with some major health issue. And that's when, also, if anybody wants to, thumbs up are great. I really appreciate that. It helps people know that I'm entertaining or something. I have something good to say. And you can donate to me too, because that's always helpful to make sure that I can do this again. PayPal, Cash App is beneath, blah, blah, blah. that people ask me for help with health all the time, and then I tell them what to do. They're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, then you don't fucking want to be healthy. I'm like, you want a simple way out, and I can't give that to you. In fact, I'm giving you a simple out. I'm giving you a simple path to health, and they refuse it. And the only time people really, really listen is when they're fucking going, knock, 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 you know what I mean? Like, fucking, that's when they listen. Well, I guess everything else didn't work, huh? You were listening to them, right? Now you're gonna listen? Oh, I'll try anything. You could have just tried the easier route. Now you got to go the hard route. Before I was like, hey, do this, this, and this. Well, I don't like the taste of that. I don't like that. That's weird. Well, that's gonna be too hard. I need to eat all day, every day. I can't fast. I can't juice. I need my meat. Don't fucking listen to me then. Yeah, but that's what it takes for people. So imagine from the level of health, just how they feel, they're not going to change anything about that. So imagine just their general habits and what they believe in and their disposition towards the world of what what news channel they listen to, what they're turning on, who their God is, who their television and money is their God, right? Their doctor is their God. Doctors are more godlike than priests are these days. In the sense of deities. They're deities. People are... I hate using the dead asleep or sound asleep or whatever. I don't know what it is. Like, there's no way... There's no way of expressing consciousness to people that are quite literally unconscious. You can't, like, if somebody's lying there dead, like, unconscious, you can't be like, hey, well, here's some cold water in the face. Duh, 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 duh. You can't. This doesn't work. And when people are walking around, you say there's, like, lights around and nobody's home, you look somebody in the eyes and there's no one there. That's a real thing. These people are non-existent. I mean, they're there. There's something there. But what would it take? Most people, I don't know what it would take. Most of these people, you just couldn't be like, somebody's like, oh, just give them a good, healthy dose of, psilocybin or LSD or whatever. Like, no, you'll destroy and shatter their reality. Like, that would be no good. That's no good. But you can't baby step these people. There is a point where people are just like, oh, just leave them be. Just let them die out. I don't know. There are some people you're like, no one's beyond help. Yes, there are plenty of people that you will not be able to help, and you cannot help. Promise you that. Lots of them. What are you gonna just help that? You're gonna help the, the thing. Here's an idea for you. Here's an idea I'd like to test on everybody here that I have my theory on. It's a bizarre theory. Every life has value, right? Okay, you got 500 80-year-old people. You got 500 8-month-old babies. Train track. Is there even a question in your mind who you run over first? Is there a question? Is anyone in here have any questions where you take the train track? You just run over the 500 old people that are 80, or the 500 babies? Is there a question? The only question that you could possibly have would be like, maybe there's an elder there that's really smart and could teach us something. That'd be the only out that you could have, or even consider going the other direction. So you go, they've lived a life, who knows what they've experienced this, they're ready to go. These people, these little ones right here, they have a whole existence to fulfill and participate in, and there could be anything here. There's a bounty of possibility. What do? If anyone says they have to think about that you throw them, they don't, I don't know what's wrong with them. That's not even a thought. But yet would be for people to be like, oh, I have the critical analysis of this. It's not a philosophy. It's not even a moral or an ethic question. Literally the question I gave is nothing to do with morals, ethics, philosophy, nothing. Literally you see a bunch of old people standing there, or a bunch of babies. You see a bunch of puppies, or a bunch of wolves. What do you run over? Puppies or wolves? Puppies or wolves? Wolves. Babies or old people? Old people. Anybody has to think about that, you have something wrong with you. Oh, Denise, that's awesome. Yeah, the younger generation is, yeah, it's tough, man, because they're dealing with the propagandists on many levels, and they're not even able to see and notice that, the influx of information through their Instagram, through the algorithms that are being pushed into their feeds. They're not gonna, unless they purposely search for the other portion of it, unless they push for the anti or the other ideas, they're not gonna find it. And it's even especially difficult because they have their peer group and their social group that they don't want to be ostracized from. Could you imagine being the outcast on a major level when you're in high school, college? Oh, that'd be the end of your life. That's the way you'd see it. They're not going to be strong enough to stand up to that. So, I mean, the amount, I don't know how many people, I've read enough things. I've heard of people clocking out on this bullshit. I've heard of plenty of, things, people being like effed up to the A. I've seen some things of like even doctors that got it. Then like a nurse was filming it and like put it on, like, I don't know, one of them off, like not YouTube or whatever, because that wouldn't stay on there. I don't live leak or something. I was like, this is a doctor so and so. He's at this and he just took this 10 minutes ago, and he's sitting there for 2 hours. This is like a 2-hour video, just in convulsions, and you just scroll through it and you're just you're like this, yeah, crazy shit, right? No, why would they popularize that? They don't need you to see that. Right age rituals. Yep. Yeah, that's I mean, again, I'm just going to repeat that. The major thing is they can't. That is the easiest to be manipulated because they're not trying to get ostracized. They have their life ahead of them. So what is their choice? How many of them are outside of the box thinkers? They're not. If they're in college, they're obviously already ready to be programmed. If they already went through the school system, I mean, you talk to people about, oh, school teachers, school system, da, da, da. Like they've already bought hook, line, and sinker the whole damn program, and they don't even understand it as a propagandist institution. Like people that watch any part of the news, people that argue about left is better than right, right is better. No, they're all done. They're all. It's good to know y'all, but hey, I won't be that mad when you're gone. Have a happy next experience. Hey, Cosmic Sapphire, there you go. Because it's systematic brain smashings. They're just smashing it into your brain. Because they can't. Let me explain it to you this way. When you learn how to sell cars, you realize you don't sell cars based upon facts. It's emotions. You sell cars based upon emotions. They're not selling facts. If people just looked at the straight facts of this, they'd be like, this is ridiculous. But they're emotionally buying the whole thing. Yep. Yeah, he named something for the immune system. Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, you're not gonna win that. Yeah, Cosmic Sapphire. You don't win. You're not winning that battle. You could battle that. You could have that battle 1,000 times. You're never winning it. 1,000,000 times. Oh, she's an engineer. She left brain. Left brained, mathematical, direct, right, wrong, left, right, order, follow, repeat, systematic, numerical. It's all. It's you're not. There's no use. You just have to. You literally have to just chalk that up. Like, that's what it is. Your mom, and that's what you are, and she is engineer army. That's what you got. She'll figure it out some way somehow, or she won't. You can't do any. You have to accept that. There's nothing you can do with someone like that. You still got the date, Denise? You didn't buy the car, but bought the. Yeah, see, that's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, building engineer. Yep, left brained, architecty, structural, integral design. You know, which is funny because if as a real engineer they would understand cosmic engineering and the golden mean and how nature builds and how the things that they engineer look nothing like nature. So they're actually in the face of the strength of nature. Nothing they can build that could ever stand and last. But that would be too philosophical for them. Huh. Time is about 10. Well, anything else you guys want to get into? Because if not, I'm gonna take a little break here. I mean, I'll dig in a little farther with anything you guys want to talk about, but if not, I'm gonna take a few minutes and do a little. Oh, he followed up. Okay, you still interested in that car? And you're like, no, but I'd be interested if you took me home and checked underneath my hood. What's wrong with me? I don't know. That's great. It's funny. When I sold cars, I had a couple really strange things happen. A couple bought 2 cars from me. I got invited to somebody's violin concerto. I got invited over and took home for dinner, which was crazy. It was really funny because the dude comes home with me and we just got along, whatever. He buys a car, and I don't know how it occurred. He's like, dude, you want to fucking come over and have dinner, or whatever? And his wife was there, and she was like, what the fuck are you bringing the car salesman home with you? Like, I'm not the car salesman. We just kind of get along. We're probably gonna go have some drinks or something. And she couldn't disassociate from the fact that he just bought a car for me and now having dinner at their house. That was bad funny. But I did hang out with him afterwards plenty of times. But yeah, anyways, let me I've done like 2 hours here with you guys, and I want to go and have a little stretchy and go. Let me get my laundry done. That's hilarious. Wow, you got yourself a car salesman. Is he still selling cars? And also here, was it new or used? And is he still selling cars? No, he's not selling cars. New, okay. It's much different. It's a much different atmosphere. New and used cars are much different. I mean, he probably told you. But you used to sell cars. Used to used to be into sales too. You're saying? Because selling used cars is because the profit margin on a used car is different. Front end, see, back end is where you make money on in the financing of the new car. That's where you make money. You don't make much. You don't make much on selling a new car. You make it on the financing. Used car, you can make. It's a big difference in what you can make. Because nobody can really, you never know what the people that buying it don't know what you got it for. They don't know how much money you put into it. So more wiggle room. Oh, is it CarMax? Oh, well, CarMax is dope because they're just basically like, all right, cut the bullshit. We're not doing the back and forth. That's what it is. That's what we paid for it. Yeah, CarMax is cool. CarMax is basically like, hey, whatever, you buy it or you don't. I ain't trying to convince you to do shit. We're just here and we'll process the paperwork if you want it. it's a good business model. I don't know. I never bought one from there, but I've had friends bought CarMax. All right, you goofs. I'm gonna get out of here. Good to see everybody. Blah blah blah. Have a good day. Do weird stuff. Inspire the world. If you can't do that, take care of yourself. You can always donate to me. PayPal, CashApp TsarXen, capitalize the X. It's beneath in the description box. And if you ever want a one-on-one for health or other things, holler at me. Theo Luminous, TheoLuminous. Bye, guys. I'll probably be back on here maybe noon, lunchtime, or maybe tonight. Come back and see me. Toodles.